Welcome back to Sunrise. We want to get back to our top story this morning, the extraordinary operation to capture Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. For his insight, let's bring in former CIA agent Mike Baker. Mike, morning to you. I mean, it is simply extraordinary, audacious, they're calling it, abducting a world leader from a safe house, taking him to New York where we see these pictures were taken. Take us through the planning of this mission, because there was an insider within the Maduro government that helped the CIA.
Yeah, which is fairly typical when you're talking about an operation like this. Look, it all depends on the homework that you do ahead of time. I mean, I know beach books and action movies, they tend to show, military operators just kind of winging it. But that's not the way it actually works in real life. So there's a great deal of work that goes on ahead of time to figure out what the target or target's pattern of activities is, what their daily routine is, who their associates are, what their security element looks like. It's basically you're compiling a picture, and hopefully as complete a picture as possible, that will inform what you're about to do. And that could involve recruited assets who work with access to the target. It includes signals intercepts, surveillance, if you're able to work in that operating environment or put people on the ground. But it's the recruited assets. It's individuals who may have a reason to work with you to provide some of that important intel. That then informs the military planning. And all of that homework is designed to mitigate the risk, to reduce the risk once the green light is given for whatever the operation may involve.
Well, it does appear that the Joint Task Force here, Mike, has done all of that homework. As you say, they established that pattern of life. But from a boots-on-the-ground perspective, if you were involved in this operation, it would take an enormous level of trust for those soldiers actually carrying out this mission to have that trust in America's intelligence services.
It does, but there's a long history of the CIA in this case and military elements working together. And that's gone all the way back to really the origins of the CIA when it was the OSS. So there's a huge level of trust. And certainly coming out of Iraq, Afghanistan, and all those years of those engagements, there was even a closer, tighter relationship. So yes, that part of it, the trust is not a problem. Part of it is a risk versus gain calculation. And again, that kind of goes against the idea that somehow this is just a cowboy operation. It's not. There is a great deal of thought put into, exactly when can we move. Now, part of the timing may have depended entirely on intel that was being provided from internal sources, meaning that you could have a window that's got a very short shelf life, right? So if suddenly you get information that says the target is on site, be on site for 24 hours, 48 hours, but then we don't know, or that access point, that recruited asset is going to lose their access, then you've got to make that decision. Do we get off the X and move?
It sounds like, too, it was on a knife's edge. They sort of made it to a bunker but couldn't close the door within this safe house. So it really was minute by minute, happening at 2:01 a.m. local time. They initiated a cyber attack to plunge the capital into darkness. We know that there were some CIA operatives on the ground about a month before this operation was taking part. How many of those operatives would remain on the ground in Venezuela to make sure that the next stage of this process goes smoothly as well, whatever that is?
It's a great question. It kind of speaks to sources and methods, and part of it is speculation. And so it's horses for courses, right? I mean, every operation is different. You may have individuals who stay behind for a variety of reasons. You may have everybody in the initial teams that were setting the table. You may have them off the site and out of the country. Again, it depends on that particular type of operation. So I don't really want to speculate in that regard. But look, the military unit that was used for this Delta and the 160th, known as the Night Stalkers, the aviation unit, remarkable people, absolutely remarkable people. Their training is incredible, much like what we did with bin Laden. Really, to the degree possible, nothing was left to chance. So a mock-up of the safe house was put together, just like a mock-up of the compound in Abbottabad for bin Laden was done. And that is then used for rehearsals over and over and over again until you've got what you believe is as good a muscle memory as possible for when you actually rock up on the site.
Yes, well, we know that the next few days are going to be very interesting. Forced regime change has rarely gone to plan for the United States. Mike, thanks for your insights this morning.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Thank you.